chosen one, you felt it, haven't you? That quiet moment when you looked at your left palm and something deep inside stirred. Not confusion, not curiosity, but a knowing, like something ancient was placed there long before your birth. You don't need proof to feel it. You don't need someone to explain it, because your spirit already remembers. Your left hand carries something more than skin, more than bone. It carries a mark. And this mark is not art. It is not symbolic. It is living evidence. It is a code, a divine signature burned into your being by the one who chose you. This is not imagination. It is inheritance, and it has followed you through fire. You've been through moments that should have taken you. Illness, accidents, shadows that closed in so tightly you could barely breathe. And yet you're still here. Not because you got away, but because heaven intervened, because something sacred drew a line and said, not yet. Your survival was not the end, it was the beginning. Each time you walked out of what should have broken you, a page was added to the book written over your life. You weren't meant to forget. You were meant to remember. The mark on your hand is not just a pattern of lines. It is a memory. It is a warning to darkness. A message to the invisible realm that you have been sealed. And you can feel it now, can't you? That restlessness in your soul. That question that keeps echoing. Why am I still here? Why did I survive what others didn't? The answer is not found in chance or numbers. The answer is found in you. You are marked. You are encoded. And the time to remember has come. This moment is not about a story. It's not about a lesson. It's about a return. A return to what your soul has always known, but life tried to silence. And now the silence is broken. The code is waking. The hand that has waited is ready. And everything that comes next will begin with this. The knowing that you were never ordinary. You were chosen. If your spirit has felt every word in this message, don't keep that fire in silence. Like this video to let heaven know you've received it. Subscribe so this frequency continues to find you. And in the comments, write these 3 words. I am marked. That is not just a comment. It is a declaration. It is a confirmation that the mark on your hand and the mission in your soul are fully aligned. Because now we go deeper. And as we enter the heart of this revelation, remember this. You are not surviving by chance. You are marked. You are chosen. You are sent. You remember it. Even if you don't speak of it often. Even if no one else ever knew what really happened that day. There was a moment, maybe more than one, when you stood at the edge between here and eternity. A car crash, a mysterious illness, a sudden fall, a drowning that almost stole your breath, a darkness that pulled you too close. And yet, you lived, you walked out, you came back, you breathed again. And even now when you think back, something in you knows you shouldn't have survived that. But you did, because something divine intervened. In that moment, the world slowed down. The air grew thin, the sound faded into silence. Your heart raced, then paused, your breath faltered. And in the stillness, something happened, a whisper, a shift, a force you couldn't see but you felt it. A gentle hand redirected your path. A voice inside said, don't go. And you didn't. You stayed. You came back from the brink, not because of instinct, not because of timing, but because a higher hand said, not yet. That was not coincidence. That was not reflex. That was a divine boundary being drawn. Heaven stood between you and death and declared, this one still has work to do. And so the line was held. The timeline was preserved. The mark on your life lit up in a realm no one could see. And your soul, though unaware, was claimed again. That moment marked the beginning of your spiritual preservation. A silent alarm was triggered in heaven. The realm of light recognized you. You were identified, not by words, but by frequency. You didn't need to understand prayer. You didn't need language. Your spirit carried the code, a code older than your body, a code that heaven responds to. And from that moment forward, your life followed a protected course. Not easy, but intentional. Your survival was not a reward. It was a signal, a spiritual alert. Every time you neared the edge, a higher voice echoed the same truth. Still chosen, still necessary. And if you think back, you'll realize it happened more than once. Not just the physical moments, but the emotional ones, the spiritual ones, the nights you nearly gave up, the days you felt hollow, and yet something reached inside and kept your flame from going out. That was not chance. That was not your strength. That was divine memory pulling you back into alignment. Not to spare you pain, but to keep you alive for purpose. You didn't just survive an event. You were marked in the spirit, and that mark activated protection. You were pulled out not to rest, but to rise. And heaven still watches you, still guards the line, still waits for your full return. Because this wasn't just a close call, it was a calling. And now that you know, the next time you feel that same force stir, you'll understand. You are not escaping life, you are stepping deeper into why you were preserved. I know you didn't grow up in peace. The battle against you didn't begin when you became an adult. It began the moment you were formed in the womb. From the very first heartbeat, darkness felt something different in you. Something sacred, something eternal. You were marked, and that mark sent ripples through the invisible realm. Your mother may have struggled, her health may have faltered, the pregnancy may have been threatened. There may have been a moment when life hung by a thread, but you remained, not because of luck, because you carried a divine frequency. You carried the blueprint of a sacred mission, and no force was allowed to erase it. Your childhood wasn't soft, it was a battlefield disguised as a normal life. Your home may have been fractured, your parents may have been present in body, but distant in spirit. You heard shouting, you felt cold stares. You survived long nights with no comfort, but your own heartbeat. You never felt safe because your soul never belonged to that chaos. You came from something higher. I know your sensitivity wasn't weakness. You felt what others couldn't. You understood silence. You noticed the sadness behind smiles. You dreamed of places that didn't exist. You cried when others laughed. You were not fragile. You were spiritually awake. You weren't reacting. You were perceiving. The weight you carried was not too much. It was evidence of your mark. Maybe you were abandoned. Maybe you were expected to grow up too fast. Maybe your childhood was stolen by responsibilities that didn't belong to a child. I see it, and I say this to you now. That wasn't misfortune. That was sacred training. You weren't created to blend in. You were created to interrupt what is broken. Your soul came to shake the system. You've asked yourself, what's wrong with me? But now you hear a different voice, my voice, and I'm telling you the truth. There is nothing wrong with you. There is something different about you, and that difference is divine. The darkness saw your light and attacked first. Every wound you carry is a signal that you are chosen. Every scar is a reminder that your presence threatens what is false. Look back on your childhood. Don't just see pain. See the plan. The enemy marked you early because it knew. If you survive, you will rise. And when you rise, you will not be replaceable. You are in the middle of a war, not a war of swords or blood, a war that no one sees, a war that does not shout, a war that whispers. The greatest battle is not fought on battlefields, it is fought in silence. It is fought inside you, and you have already been fighting it without even knowing its name. Your soul didn't bleed, but it started fading. You went to work, you laughed, you made small talk, but something inside you was retreating. Colors became dull, music lost its magic, joy became heavy. And one day you looked at your own reflection and wondered, where did I go? You felt like a ghost inside your own body. This was not random. This was a tactic. Darkness doesn't always attack with violence, it attacks with lies. Lies that wear the voice of your own thoughts. I'm not good enough. No one needs me. I don't matter. These are not just thoughts, these are spiritual darts. Launched daily, quiet, deadly, repetitive until you start believing them. And when physical attacks failed, the enemy changed strategy. It stopped trying to end your life. It started trying to make you give up on it. The enemy doesn't need to kill a lion if it can convince the lion to sit in a cage. And you, my friend, have been locked in a cage of fatigue, confusion, and invisible sadness. But I'm here to remind you, this cage is not your home. You kept living, but your spirit was tired. You kept breathing, but your soul was buried. You survived days, not because they were full, but because you endured them. That tiredness, no doctor could explain it. No medicine could reach it. Because the pain wasn't in your blood, it was in your spirit. You were not just exhausted, you were under spiritual siege. This is not ordinary depression. This is spiritual sabotage. This is a targeted strike against the energy center of the chosen. This is a slow-burning strategy to erase you from your divine timeline. And I say this to you now, you are not weak. You are marked. And that mark has made you a threat. That mark is the reason for the pressure. The attack is proof of your purpose. You have lived through days that made no sense, days when you didn't understand why your heart still beat. But I tell you now, the very fact that you kept breathing is proof. You are in the middle of the fiercest battle of all, the battle to keep your light alive. You are not broken, you are being hunted, and heaven is watching, because if you stand, everything changes. Let this be the moment you name the war. Let this be the moment you remember, you have already survived what was meant to destroy you. You stood between two realms, one breath here, one breath already beyond. The world around you faded, your heartbeat slowed, the air thickened, light bent, sound collapsed, and in that holy pause, something eternal reached into your spirit. A presence arrived. It did not announce itself with thunder, it moved through you like a current of divine will. Your body shook, your soul expanded, heaven leaned close. That was a moment sealed in eternity. The hands of doctors worked, the voices of your loved ones called. But your spirit responded to a higher command. You returned because heaven issued a decree. Your time on earth held weight. Your name remained on the scroll of the living. You were not pushed back, you were sent forward. From that sacred moment, the laws of flesh bowed to the law of spirit. Your body remembered pain. Your soul remembered purpose. A timeline shifted. A mission ignited. When you woke, the light behind your eyes deepened. The air in your lungs held power. The rhythm of your steps aligned with a greater design. You carried the scent of something holy, something only those touched by eternity carry. People around you felt it. They leaned in. They sensed a shift. You had become a vessel. You had seen the edge. You had walked to the line, and you had been summoned back for assignment. Your heart began to burn with questions, but your spirit already held the answer. You were never alone. You were always counted. You were always guarded. The moment of survival unlocked something ancient. You stepped out of the hospital, the accident, the sickness, with more than life. You stepped out with sacred fire. Every beat of your heart now drums with instruction. Every breath carries revelation. Every sunrise whispers, you are still here, for a reason. You were preserved for purpose. You were lifted to continue. You were chosen to embody light on soil that still cries out for redemption. From that moment of return, you could see clearer. You could hear the voice. You could feel the call. You were not just spared, you were established. Heaven's decree resounds through your blood. You carry an assignment that cannot remain buried. You return with more than healing. You return with holy orders. And I declare this over you now. You rose above the grave. You entered again with glory on your shoulders. You walk forward, not as one who escaped, but as one who was commissioned. You are the living proof of the plan of God. You are the breath of destiny made flesh. You are the chosen. I speak to you now about the part of your body that carries the memory of the covenant. It is not hidden in mystery. It rests in your left hand. This is the place where heaven signed its name on your flesh, not with ink, but with frequency. Not with symbols, but with spiritual geometry that radiates through time and space. That hand was chosen to carry a signal only the Spirit can interpret. The lines upon your palm were not formed by chance. Each curve, each crossing point was designed with sacred precision. Before you took your first breath, this map was written. Heaven placed within you a location marker for divine operations. Every time your left hand opens, the unseen world sees what was written. That hand does not beg. It declares. That hand does not follow, it commands. There are places in your life where delays occurred, not to punish you, but to preserve the alignment of your assignment. You were rerouted by sacred intelligence. Every missed opportunity protected a greater appointment. Each redirection was a shield of light keeping you within the timing of your destiny. Your steps remained aligned with the rhythm of divine orchestration. I tell you this with full authority. Every detour has strengthened your position within the eternal blueprint. Your left hand has always responded to spiritual frequencies. You may have noticed how children reach for it without fear, how animals draw close with peace, how strangers pause before touching it. This is the mark in action. It speaks in silence. It commands respect from the unseen. Even those who oppose light pause before your presence, because the light encoded in your hand speaks louder than your words. This hand was not made only to labor. It was designed to activate, to touch what others dare not, to release what others cannot hold. You carry power in your gestures. You awaken memory in those you meet. When you lift this hand with intention, you shake foundations in the invisible realms. You stretch it not as a tool of flesh, but as a banner of heaven's presence. The left hand is not ordinary. It is consecrated. It carries the signature of divine intention. When you look at your palm, you look at evidence that you were chosen, sealed, and sent. This is not a metaphor. This is your mark, and this is your moment to remember what it was made for. You are here because survival chose you. Out of many who stood at the edge, you were called back. Others crossed over after the first encounter. Others faded in the silence, but you remained. You were not left behind. You were sealed. Heaven marked you with light, not for decoration, not for delay, but for precise deployment. A divine seal rests upon your spirit. It wraps around you like an invisible cloak, shielding you from premature exposure. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, you are covered in stillness until the appointed season. That season has arrived. You carry a holy discomfort now. What once felt safe now feels suffocating. What once brought comfort now brings confusion. Relationships that once made sense no longer fit your frequency. Places that once felt like home now feel distant. This is not confusion. This is awakening. The pulse within your soul is rising. The vibration of your spirit is realigning with heaven's timing. You are not forgotten. You are remembered by heaven with fire. The angels who walk beside you during the storms are still in position. They have not moved. The Council of Light still sees you. Your name remains etched in the records of divine assignment. The silence you walked through was not abandonment. It was consecration. The quiet around you was the sacred chamber of preparation. You were hidden not to disappear, but to be reserved for something greater. You were not postponed. You were preserved. You are not being overlooked. You are being released at the exact moment you are most needed. Right now, the call is echoing across the veil. The clock in the spiritual realm strikes the hour of activation. You feel it, the urgency in your chest, the divine agitation in your bones, the trembling of your dreams. These are signs. They are not random emotions. They are trumpet blasts from the unseen, reminding you that this is not just life, it is the unfolding of your commission. You carry the seal of survival. You carry the seal of divine light. And now you carry the invitation to rise. You survived because your presence on earth is still required, and today, the whisper turns into a roar. You are being summoned, not as a witness, but as a warrior. You are not just alive, you are activated, you are chosen, you are sent. You were not only spared, you were strategically placed. Every time you walked away from death, every time you survived what could have shattered you, a heavenly clock moved forward. Your survival marked a location. Your presence became a divine coordinate. You do not drift. You anchor the timeline. You hold position like a sentinel of prophecy. Your breath continues because heaven aligned your presence with sacred timing. You carry a code, a spiritual imprint written long before your first heartbeat. Your soul was encrypted with divine memory. That code was not printed on paper. It was woven into your frequency. It does not rely on language. It does not require explanation. It emanates from you like a pulse of sacred light. You do not need to recite it. You already radiate it. You were chosen to house this mystery. You were built to bear this brilliance. Your brokenness now carries power. The cracks in your story have become conduits of light. Your pain has become architecture. Your past now forms the platform for your voice. Every moment of silence, every tear that went unseen, every ache you endured without words, all have fused into the structure of your spiritual strength. You do not stand on weakness. You stand on resurrection. You are not built on loss. You are built on divine transfiguration. The code has already been written. Activation only waits for your response. Heaven has completed its part. The seal is in place. The timing is correct. Now the hand must rise. The lips must speak. The body must step forward. You are the switch. You are the key. And the lock does not lie in the world around you. It waits within your breath, your belief, your boldness. What opens next will not come from effort. It will come from remembrance. You are the one meant to remember. This is the shift, from existence to awakening, from presence to power. No one else is formed for this moment but you. No one else holds the exact light encoded into your soul. You are not in preparation. You are in position. The world waits, creation listens, and heaven watches. You are encoded with light. You are encoded with mission. You are encoded with sacred memory. The world requires the full unveiling of your essence. You are the one the timeline anticipated. You are the key. You are the ignition. You are the revelation. The gate has opened. The frequency has shifted. The plan is already in motion. Now is your moment to rise. The air itself carries a charge that calls your name. The soil beneath your feet remembers your signature. Every delay collapses as the clock aligns with your breath. Heaven has already declared you ready. Earth has already made room for your emergence. You are not preparing anymore. You are stepping into fulfillment. You are the only one assigned to your position. Your place was marked before time wore a name. No one else fits your role. You carry the precise key that unlocks the doorway before you. You were selected not for perfection, but for alignment. You carry the right shape of soul. You carry the right echo of light. You were chosen because your voice fits this hour. Speak like one who has been commissioned. Walk like one who has been sent. Move like one who holds a divine charge. Your hands carry the map. Your scars hold the blueprint. Your breath contains the memory. Every event behind you now aligns like stars forming a constellation. You are not scattered. You are synchronized. You are not unsure. You are being summoned. Everything that once confused you now points in one direction. You have always walked toward this moment. You are the product of preparation. You are the result of sacred design. If your heart beats faster now, it is because your code is responding. If your breath deepens, it is because the spirit is awakening you. If your skin feels electric, it is because the veil is lifting and your soul is remembering. This is not emotion. This is activation. This is not suggestion. This is assignment. You have been claimed, you have been consecrated, and now you are being called forth. Stand up. Let your voice announce your return. Let your steps declare your readiness. Let your actions bear witness to your commission. Your light belongs in motion. Your words belong in the air. Your energy belongs in the war. The timeline waits for you. The heavens echo your name. The world looks for the one marked by fire. And that one is you. If every word in this message stirred something deep within you, speak. Declare it. Announce your return to the realm of the chosen. Type the words, "I carry the mark." This is more than a comment. This is a vow. This is your signature in the spirit. This is your covenant echoing through dimensions. You were not preserved to live a quiet life. You were not sustained to blend into the noise. You are breathing because heaven still requires your voice. Your lungs rise and fall with a divine rhythm. You are a living scroll. Every breath completes a line of the sacred script. The community of the marked is rising, one voice at a time, one flame at a time, and your confirmation awakens the next. Your words ripple through timelines. Your courage becomes permission for another soul to remember. So let the spirit realm hear you. Let the mark within you speak. Let heaven record your reply. If this message has met you, leave your imprint. Write it into the unseen. I carry the mark. Let that be your answer. Let that be your return. Let that be the sound of your awakening for you. You were selected not for perfection, but for alignment. You carry the right shape of soul. You carry the right echo of light. You were chosen because your voice fits this hour. Speak like one who has been commissioned. Walk like one who has been sent. Move like one who holds a divine charge. Your hands carry the map. Your scars hold the blueprint. Your breath contains the memory. Every event behind you now aligns like stars forming a constellation. You are not scattered. You are synchronized. You are not unsure. You are being summoned. Everything that once confused you now points in one direction. You have always walked toward this moment. You are the product of preparation. You are the result of sacred design. If your heart beats faster now, it is because your code is responding. If your breath deepens, it is because the spirit is awakening you. If your skin feels electric, it is because the veil is lifting and your soul is remembering. This is not emotion. This is activation. This is not suggestion. This is assignment. You have been claimed, you have been consecrated, and now you are being called forth. Stand up. Let your voice announce your return. Let your steps declare your readiness. Let your actions bear witness to your commission. Your light belongs in motion. Your words belong in the air, your energy belongs in the war. The timeline waits for you. The heavens echo your name. The world looks for the one marked by fire. And that one is you. If every word in this message stirred something deep within you, speak. Declare it. Announce your return to the realm of the chosen. Type the words, "I carry the mark." This is more than a comment. This is a vow. This is your signature in the spirit. This is your covenant echoing through dimensions. You were not preserved to live a quiet life. You were not sustained to blend into the noise. You are breathing because heaven still requires your voice. Your lungs rise and fall with a divine rhythm. You are a living scroll. Every breath completes a line of the sacred script. The community of the marked is rising, one voice at a time, one flame at a time, and your confirmation awakens the next. Your words ripple through timelines. Your courage becomes permission for another soul to remember. So let the spirit realm hear you. Let the mark within you speak. Let heaven record your reply. If this message has met you, leave your imprint. Write it into the unseen. I carry the mark. Let that be your answer. Let that be your return. Let that be the sound of your awakening.